Yo, we back once again.
Another episode.
Bigger business. Yeah, man. Big Six, Big Hop, the two hosts with the most.
We got to change that one day.
Yeah, one day. We got to think of our own catchphrase. But for right now, that's how we rocking, man. A lot still going on.
It's true.
Huh?
It's the truth, for sure.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, man, it's been a high week, high playoffs. Unfortunately, my Warriors got eliminated yesterday. I don't even want to get too far in the sports.
Jimmy Butler, bum.
Jason Tatum is cotton soft. Not to do with the injury, but...
Jason Tatum is the best. Jaylen Brown finna take him to the championship. Jaylen Brown against...
Bronson?
Nope.
Cat?
Against the Nuggets.
Ooh!
That's how it's going down.
What's kind of fun here? Jaylen Brown got to get past.
Bruh, I'm telling you.
What the Halle Bailey?
I'm telling you what the championship.
All right, this man thing. Okay, you heard it first from him. OKC versus the Denver Nuggets.
Who you got? Championship.
I got New York versus Minnesota. I'm just gonna throw it out there like that.
What do you think? Bro, they barely got by us. What up, Curry?
If they beat the best, they is the best. But it was without Curry, so you're right.
Yeah, you standing on that?
Nice.
They barely beat us.
I stand on that. I like a.
So can you give us your real spiel?
OKC versus New York.
All right.
Yeah,
I can respect that. I was like Anthony Edwards, though. I might go.
That's the rough. I fuck with AE though.
I fuck with him too. I'm
if
just
he was
saying.
playing, if what you call it?
If Curry was playing, I'd be like, I'd say Minnesota for sure.
Yeah.
I thought that before they played us. I was like, damn, they finna really give us a hard time. I didn't expect it to be easy breezy, lemon peasy.
Free Chris Breezy. But let's hop right into this. This is an ongoing story. This is a deep one, man.
What's going on? Take you to the bridge.
So right here we got Cassie. Let me pause this real quick. The court exposes Cassie and Diddy and Cassie text messages. My eyes kind of bad. When do you want to freak off, LOL? I'm always ready to freak off. That's Cassie. Cassie to Diddy. I haven't talked to you at all. You don't even try. You rushed me off the phone. I'm really hurt. I don't need your money. I need some attention. Cassie to Diddy. I love you so much. You make me a better woman. Cassie to Diddy. I can't wait until we have a baby of our own. These is all text messages coming straight from Cassie to Diddy's cellular device, his phone. You know what I'm saying? What we got next here is Cassie's husband walking out the courtroom. Cassie's husband also was a trainer at first, hired by Diddy, and then he went on to become her husband, father of her children. Now, this is where it gets interesting right here. I got to get into this. AUSA Valdez. August 2018, what happened? Cassie, we were having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu, and he was trying to convince her to go to the Burning Man. AUSA, were you seeing anyone? My now husband. Kind of insinuates they may not have been married at the time, but either way, that's the dude who she's with now. DA, what happened next? Sean came to my house and raped me on my living room floor. My eyes were black. It was like taking something from you. You cried. Then what did Sean do? He continued and finished inside of her. Then he got up and left. Did you ever have sex with him again after this incident? Yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his head. Can you explain what he did after he SA'd you? We've been together for 10 years. Now that's some deep patootie right there. So
We're going back up because we ain't been cousins.
yeah. So basically, boom, Cassie, Diddy, he came to the house, he SA'd her, allegedly, on the living room floor. He tried to get her to go to Burning Man. She had a closure conversation. Do you know what a closure conversation is? Do people do that just to meet up and talk about how they're gonna break up?
Yeah, but it's not really a breakup though.
Yeah.
It's like, let me see you again. And let's talk.
Yeah.
So I can see if I'm really done.
Missing key detail. How did you go from the closure conversation at a Malibu restaurant back to your house?
Because that's what all the closer is. One more again.
Boom.
Popping on the handstand.
Then the alleged SA takes place, and then boom, he finishes inside of her. He gets on, right? Did y'all ever have sex in a regular relationship or the regular world or to certain normal people? That would be the end of it. If somebody SA'd you in the house, a lot of people would call the police and then move on with the rest of their life, or not call the police and move on with the rest of their life. But sometime after that, they ended up back together and they voluntarily had intercourse again. And while she was still with her now husband. Interesting thing about her husband, Diddy hired him to be her personal trainer, and somehow they ended up having intercourse, falling for each other, falling in love, getting married, and having kids. Diddy tried to blackmail, according to Cassie, Diddy tried to blackmail her for the money back from the money he paid for the trainer, or else he was going to release some of these freak off tapes. Very interesting. Chain of events, weird, if you want to call it that. Is it possible to SA anybody, but is that normal to SA somebody and then they come back and y'all have voluntarily intercourse after that? Did that sound reasonable in your head?
I mean, you got these weird, cases out here where a woman's attacker who SA'd her, some random dude, they'll get into a relationship with him. But that's like that's like a blue moon. That's like a blood moon. Mm-hmm. The times that happened. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if Cassie is lying. I don't know if Diddy actually did it. The elephant in the room that makes it weird is you didn't call the police and y'all got back together.
Yeah. Together before and after. If I'm just being reasonable or whatever, can she be like, no, I don't want to do it today. Nah, I don't think it's the right time. They're like, man, come in here. And, kind of, start being overly aggressive, rip off her pants and do it to her. Yes, that's a possibility. That can happen. I'm not going to say that didn't happen. But what kind of kills the credibility of that is not calling the police, not distancing yourself from him, even though y'all was already distant and you was already with your new dude. So if that happened, you end it right there, even if you don't call the police, which is totally understandable why you wouldn't call the police on Diddy. Meeting back up with him and then doing it and then voluntarily doing it because y'all had a good day, it just kind of kill your credibility when it comes to the force part. So if it did or didn't happen, at that point, it kind of made it irrelevant.
Now, I will say this, finding out who Diddy is, we get to know more about him, about this case.
Yeah.
He is a strange control freak, Now, would she feel safe having to call the police on Diddy after he allegedly SA'd her? Mm-hmm. When he blowing up cars in people's parking lots? Mm-hmm. You feel me?
I said.
You feel me? So,
understandably, she didn't. Yeah.
Go ahead, sis.
Yeah. No, I'm saying understandably, she didn't.
Go ahead.
Blowing up Kid Cudi cars, understandable that she didn't call the police on it, because that is kind of scary.
Yeah, what I was gonna say, it's crazy. So, knowing Diddy got all this money and this power, do you want to go against the grain against a person like that? And you've been with him 10 years, so you've seen all the heinous stuff he did and how he get down. And then another thing is, come on now, you came into this relationship kind of being like the fun girl, the yes ma'am, whatever he asks you to do, and then you telling him how you want him to show you how to be the perfect woman or the woman that he wants. You kind of like the fun girl at that point. You kind of labeled yourself the fun girl, or you allowed yourself to be labeled the fun girl. So, of course, now if he did anything against your will, then it is SA. But I'm just trying to put in a different type of context. Every time I come through, it's up is good. You feel me? Woo, woo. I can come through with multiple people and it's good. I can tell you get down with that dog or that fish and it's good. And then all of a sudden, whoop whoop. And, she probably did say no. It's like, even though it happens every day in America, women cheating in their own house in their husband's bed, she could have been like, no, not here, something like that. We know Diddy is a controlling man, though. He's a maniac, a psycho. But yeah, so I'm not sure if it happened or not. You know, it seems like she's being pretty honest on the stand. Sounds like she's being pretty honest up there, man.
Can he still care? Somebody told me this today. There's no way he can care for her if he's allowing her to have intercourse with other men. You think that's true?
No. No. I think he can actually care. I think he actually does care for her. I think that he's just a sick individual. Or he's just a cuck, you know.
That's what I said.
In Diddy's world, he probably, you know, we're talking about billionaire Diddy. His girl is Casey. At that point in time, you know, we together or whatever they doing, I know everybody in your life. You feel me? I know everybody that you go to work and go see. I know everybody you finna go do a video shoot with. I know everybody you finna go do some modeling with. I know every producer, every beat maker, every rapper, everybody that's in your life, trainer, vocals coach, all that. Y'all don't think he set her up with the instructor and just to, you know, kind of get like some you know, like some candy cam video of them doing it, but it actually went further than what he was expecting. You know, that could be a possibility. Definitely could be a possibility. Because as we see, she's definitely with the freak off. You know, I think Diddy gonna beat this, man.
Yeah, I mean, what we talking about right now? We talking about like.
I think Diddy gonna beat this.
We talking about
this so far. This part of the case.
Yeah. We talking about sexual details right now. Like, what people do in their bedroom is not a crime. From the lady who was reporting on it from CBS News. She was saying she maybe a little Cassie came off as jealous at first, like, why you ain't talk to my friend? Why you want to talk to me? And then shortly thereafter, maybe 2 months into their relationship, she's telling Diddy, I love you. I want to be the woman you want me to be. I'm here for you. You know, tell me what you want me to do. Then he has text messages, as we showed earlier in that clip, saying, hey, you ready for the next freak off? She was like, yeah, I'm always ready. And then goes on to profess her love for Diddy. So, forced? I can't say she's been forced into any activities. If things go too far at times, I can maybe so, but she definitely was doing drugs. She definitely has a freaky nature to her, I would have to say, because if you just not with it, you just not with it. Ain't nobody finna pee in your mouth and you just sit there unless they're like forcing you and holding you and they pissing. If you don't want to get pissed on, you're not going to get pissed on. Or they're going to have to, like, you know, do something to you to make you get pissed on.
I forgot who said it, but if he don't get pissed on, you're going to move the fuck out the way.
You're going to move out the way.
You're going to move out the way.
You're going to open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, that part, that's where it's like.
Or what if she's like, no? And then he's like, what if he yelled out, no? No!
And then they just open it. I mean, if that happened, you wouldn't go back the next week and you wouldn't participate in hundreds. After the fourth, the fifth one, the first one, you would be like, I'm done with this. I'm never coming back over here. And you would separate yourself from that man.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
She lost. This shit was over with me when she said, I wouldn't tell him no because I didn't want him to do it with nobody else.
Exactly.
That shit. That's when this whole thing so far these first 2-3 days was over with for me for her testimony. Now I think the rape stuff is out there because you know Alex Fine, her husband's name.
Thank you for saying that.
It's sitting in the courtroom. Yeah. And it's like, you know, like, yeah, I'm a nasty concubine, but he did SA me. You feel me? Like, you feel me? Like, come on now. You feel me?
Definitely, lost my train of thought, but
Alex Fine?
No, before Alex Fine. She was doing drugs. She was doing drugs before she even got with Diddy, right? She was popping ecstasy pills. And she was doing, from what they said, ecstasy, cocaine, ketamine, and fucking Molly. If you doing one of those substances, your mind is not in your normal altered state. You're extra turned up and susceptible to more things. Now, if you're doing all of that at the same time, and you already got like a freaky nature to you, I can only imagine how far your minds went in these bedrooms, especially after the first time. The first time may have been real regular. The second, third time, but after we done did this 10 weekends in a row, we're pushing the limit at this point because our mind is still trying to come up with what can get me off. And that's what Diddy was doing. And it seems like he probably was doing this before you. You probably heard whispers. He probably finally took you in the room. He was like, oh, it's my turn. You wanted the lifestyle. It seems like you wanted the lifestyle. You didn't want to let it go. You fell in love with Diddy. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it was. And that's what happened. The husband, so this is what Alex Fine, this is where it gets weird. if Diddy hired him, like you said, it could have been his employee just to get a little candy camera action, or it could have been like he probably wasn't willing to participate in this stuff too. He had to have some knowledge of it before it got to court.
Who?
The husband.
Oh, okay.
I feel like the husband got some knowledge of. Hopefully Cassie had the common courtesy to break it down before the lawsuit, because it would have to be in the lawsuit, so that could have came to the front. Definitely before you got to court, you got to tell the man. Now I don't know if he knew the details, cause why did he walk out? Did it say? Did he walk out because of what they were saying?
Yeah, pretty much what they were saying.
How did they dismiss him, or
he walked out. He walked out by himself.
Yeah, that's a hard one. And
it's hard.
If I'm not mistaken, they got 3 kids. Are they on the 3rd kid?
Something like that.
That's a hard one.
We just got 20 mil. We could have kept this under wraps.
Yeah.
You think?
I think he was a part of, if I was to guess, I think he was a part of that. You need to get some money from this or whatever. You know how
hell yeah. Get some money from this. Hell yeah.
And I think he pushed the envelope.
I don't think Diddy is doing business with you unless you know how he coming.
Yeah.
No Diddy. You feel me? I don't think that man doing business with you unless you know how you coming. Shit, exactly. I'm broke and I like to keep my circles controlled. You know, like a controlled little bubble. I can only imagine being a billionaire and doing this and doing that and moving here, moving there, and having any medication that I need on speed dial, and my assistants on speed dial, and having cars blew up on fucking speed dial. You know, so I can only imagine. I can only imagine. When it comes to Alex Fine, I think he knew. I think he was briefed. I don't think he knew the actual madness under the mattress. I don't think he knew that, because after a minute it's just too much, and then it's not like, okay, it's not like you sat me down and you telling me this one-on-one, Bob, it's gonna be this, gonna be this, gonna be that. No, I'm finding out along with the world, and that's pretty. That's a lot to the intake. You know, no Diddy, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. This is one I got kids with. This you know.
It makes me, like more think about relationships more, because like you never know what a woman did before she got with you. Hopefully you don't never gotta find out like this, but it's like, damn, is that what you out here doing? You know what I'm saying? But Diddy a wild boy. So hey, hopefully it's not that to the extent where everybody else, but that's definitely a heart wrencher. I know he was in there stomaching knots like, what? Well, like you didn't say it was all this. But even if you was in like a lifestyle to where you had, like, let's say a lady of the night, I don't think you would want to hear like all the details what she had going on or this, that, and the third. Maybe you would, because that's a little bit different. But you definitely don't want to hear from your wife. All he probably knew is she went in there, she made some money, she came back or whatever, or he just wasn't aware of it going on, especially around the time they were together, because I think that may have been the detail that drove him out that courtroom. Like, oh, you never said nothing about that. You said I met this man. He was a scary man. He was bad. I need to stay away from him. And now you telling me, even though we was together, you still going back and doing that? I think that probably could have pressured him up too, if it wasn't the details of the case.
I'm gonna get you like this, man. Cassie, you met Diddy at a time of your career when you trying to take off, and he's an older man with money, and he was trying to take and you caught his eye. Now, this is for the young girls out there. You mess with a type caliber man like that, don't think you the baddest that he didn't had. Don't think this finna be some regular type loving going on and all like that. No, if that was the case, he can go get him a nice, aged, quite well cougar. Mm-hmm. No, he want the fun girl that's not gonna tell him no, that doesn't have the experience. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much gonna be open to new things because it's new and it's exciting. Everybody at 22, I just want to live life. I just want to live life. Huh?
Eyes wide open.
Eyes wide open. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And to sum it up, you're older now, Cassie. That's just all it is. You're older now. You got older. You feel me? These before this court stuff was still thriving and striving. It's time for a younger participant now, and that's pretty much all it is. That's pretty much all it is, man. He did everything under the sun to you. Y'all did everything under the moon together. You feel me? And it came to a abrupt end. You was a fun girl. You got paid $20 million to be a fun girl, and we don't talk about all the money in between and allowances and all that. Not saying right is right, wrong is wrong, but you were a fun girl. You know, you were a fun girl. You got to travel the world, all this, all that. Not saying Diddy should be set free and all like this, but what are we talking about? We talking about y'all rendezvous, y'all meeting up at Rayleigh's and doing it in the parking lot with a horse in the trunk. Like that's pretty much all it was. And then you just got older, and now it's time for out with the old, in with the new. Message. That's just how it is. Older man, younger girl, money involved. You want money. He has money. There's going to be some money dangled. You feel me? The lifestyle was dangled. You know, the image, you know, just being seen with Diddy was dangled. And you went all the way in. You know, you went all the way in. And sometimes saying no is a healthy thing to do. You didn't have that no in you. You say you were down with this, you weren't down with that, but you never said no. You know, I guess, you really dealing with a girl. You won't mind being told no. You kind of want that kind of like dominance, huh? Sometimes.
You want to say no. Yeah. No is kind of, certain things, no is kind of build you up the hierarchy. Like, okay, this woman got some type of boundaries.
Yeah.
If you let me do whatever, whenever, however, then I'm going to be like, okay, this is who this is. You got to have some type of no. And I'm not saying, go give me a sandwich. No. I'm like, no, that's going to push you down the hierarchy. But the no to like, hey, you want to come in here with me and all my partners? Like, man, fuck no, that ain't, excuse me. Hell no, that's not how I get down like that. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be like, okay, she ain't one of them. You know what I'm saying? That might in the back of my, but yeah, too much. Yes. Yeah. It's like, all right, we're going to see how far it's going to go. You know what I'm saying? And men will see how far it's going to go.
Oh, I'm definitely going to see how far it's going to go. I'm gonna set the play and sit down the street and watch. You feel me? I want to see how long you gonna hang out in front of this liquor store. You know. Now let me ask you this: do you think after this whole ordeal is done, that her and Alex Fine stay together?
With that 20 million that just hit her account, yes. It might not be forever, but they
it ain't gonna be
kids. But it's gonna be. It's gonna be one of them down the road divorces. It's gonna be like, and then like the ladies who have sympathy, they're like, oh, it's so sad, man. He's stuck in there. I don't think it's gonna be immediate, but it's that certain these details. It's not even at the details, because you might be able to handle the details. It's that the whole world knows the details. So now when you go into the barbershop, when you're dropping your kids off at school, picking your kids up from school, at the grocery store, talking to your mama, talking to her, everybody knows like that. I think might weigh on him more than the actual details, because sometimes stuff told in confinement, if it stays in confinement and you strong enough to handle it, cool. But when the whole world know it, it's gonna start picking at your strength. Now it's like, not only do I gotta be strong, now it's like this person right here might just say some random shit. It might be a pee joke somewhere, like, oh man, I gotta take a pee. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Make you flare up. You don't even know if it's serious or not.
It's triggering. You feel me? I get triggered off stuff from my past, so I don't want to hear that. Like I'm saying. And what I wanted to say earlier about the case in general, if this was just like, imagine you like at a family event and then two people get to arguing, uncle and auntie or boyfriend and girlfriend somewhere, and they just start going off like about this. Like, you ain't peeing in my mouth, and when you brought would you be like, oh my God, I need to call the police? Or would you just be like, that's disgusting. Take that. Why are y'all like, what's y'all got? Y'all need Jesus. Get away from here. You feel me? That's more. If you hear two people like, yeah, man, the body in the trunk. La 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 la. We slid and did this. Somebody might be like, oh, we need to call the police. They on some other stuff. I mean, maybe not the hood, but regular people. I think people need to take all this, the news, the gas up from the news, because the news gassed everybody up. The feds gassed everybody up for a freaky domestic violence case. That's all the same like right now. I haven't heard anything yet. It's only day 3 or 4. I haven't heard anything yet that constitutes all the raiding houses and doing all that. I ain't heard nothing yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's at.
If I'm Alex Fine, I'm staying afterwards, but I want that same treatment. I want that same chop. Adios, amigos. I want that same treatment.
You want the male prostitute?
I want the male prostitute, but I want my partners to come over and we just, just smut out of you. You feel what I'm saying? Because everybody know that your girl, your wife, the mother of your 3 kids, is hurting for a squirting, cruising for a bruising, doing something strange, not even for no exchange. So it's like, You feel me? I want that same treatment. I don't want the yes, honey, no, dear. Ben, no, I don't want to hear none of that. I want, when I want to have my night, or I'm pretty sure his bachelor party was PG-12.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? When she could have been the main one jumping out the cake.
Them be the ones that do all that and then come back and try to be like, I'm Natalie Nunn now.
Yes.
I'm a new woman. I'm safe. But that don't go nowhere in my head, bro. If a woman got that in there, it ain't went nowhere. How could you feel satisfied giving her this one little missionary from the back stroke after you heard all this? How can you feel like I'm pleasing her? Yeah, I'm really like, no, that thing done been through some tricks and some slanders and like, come on now, that's gonna play in your head. I don't care who you is, but we don't know. That man might be a freak too, though.
Yeah, I want my own freak.
No, I'm saying he might be on some weird stuff too. Though.
Yeah, I want my own freak. I want my own freak that ain't used and abused.
Yeah.
You feel me? She used and abused. 10 years, veteran on the team.
He might get off on stuff like that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have walked out the courtroom.
He gotta keep safe. Some people gotta be trying to save face.
Save face.
He's 32 years old. He's 93, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look. Oh yeah, she's trying to be.
I can't even look at her the same.
That 20 million. I mean,
he out there banging and wanging.
I ain't gonna lie with that 20. That's what I said. If she got that 20 million, I'm messing with her. I don't want to hear nothing.
I want to hear nothing.
Put that 10 million in my account off the dribble. Every time I call you when I'm at drunk, high with all my partners at the strip club at some wild ass thing, like, yeah, I'll be back in 3 days. And I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to breathe wrong around me. That's the only other way it can work out.
That's the only way it's gonna work out. Bro, he is a trainer, a professional trainer.
He's banging stuff in the first place.
He banging stuff upside down.
That's how he got her. He banging everything upside down, sideways, on top of the car, under the car. He really banging. You feel me? So yeah, he gonna stick around, get that 10. I think after this, he might even try to go for the kids after a minute. Like, yeah, I need the kids, and put you on child support. I mean, he only worth $500,000. I'm looking at just for something.
Yeah.
Now it might be $5 million.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, he can get child support from him, right?
Yeah, you can get child support, you get all that.
Mm-hmm.
Alimony. The fact that they pregnant.
Alimony, he'll for surely win with alimony.
Yeah, the fact that they married. Yeah, and then what judge gonna tell him you don't deserve that? After everybody seen what that man just went through, yeah, I wish the judge would be like, hey man, I want a divorce, I want alimony. And when you get settlements, lawsuits, lottos, and you marry, I think you're entitled to have, if I'm not mistaken. If you hit the jackpot. And you married and you hit for like 50 million and your wife divorced you right then and there, you entitled to 25 million.
I think that's what's gonna happen, bro.
That might actually, you're right.
I think that's what's gonna happen, bro. He got too many baddies blowing his phone.
They lined up right now.
They lined up. You feel me? Let me have the kids. You feel me? Or I have majority of the time. And I need half of everything because it's just too much, I don't even need to be with you to know that I'm part of it. Everybody's gonna know that I'm part of this case anyway,
Yeah, that's unfortunate on his behalf. And I ain't gonna lie, that's where as a man you gotta put your foot down. We got the money. You're not, if you want to be with her, if you really wanted to work, you got the money. We not finna go through this circus. We not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's where I would have been like, yeah, that's over with. We ain't doing all that. We definitely not doing all that. Excuse me, y'all. Little technical difficulties. But yeah, that would have been, I would have had to put my foot down on that. Like, we're not finna go to court. We got $20 million. We won. We got everything we need. We don't need to participate in this circus. Are they making her testify?
I mean, she don't want as part of his RICO so far, so
yeah,
you feel me? I think it's all gonna play into Alex Fine's favor when it comes to taking her to court.
He might be the real winner.
Yeah, he might be the real winner. Because she up there right now thinking she won. She got the 20 piece. She's trying to send Diddy down the hole for a long time, and then it just blow up in her face, and then boom, boom, she ended up a single fucking mother. Excuse my language, a single mother, and half of her dub in his pockets, plus alimony and all like that, and Diddy doing about 2 years or a year with probation or something.
But you gotta realize, even with Cassie, she always, if you get in her psyche, she always wanted the starlight. She always wanted the fame. This might be feeding her little I'm back on top. Everybody's talking
That's what
about
I'm
me
saying.
again.
She thinks she's winning.
Yes, I get to talk about my escapades with him, and my husband's in the crowd.
Mhm.
You know, women get off on stuff like that. Certain women, they feel like, yes, it's all about me. You feel me? So maybe she needed it in the worst way.
Bro, if everything that they saying is true, and it was going like that, and knowing and kind of having being familiar with the woman that Cassie is, I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy get out of jail and she come crawling back on all fours. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. It's gonna work. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. She's try to come back crawling on all fours. You feel me? And some text messages just come out. You feel me? I'm just saying, but
I'm sorry I put you through all that. I really didn't want to do it. I don't know. I got a lot. I don't know. Sometimes it get crazy with these females, man. I done seen crazier. Maybe not crazier than this. I ain't gonna lie, but I done seen crazy before. But
that's what Diddy was doing.
Let's drive into some semi normal relationship drama.
Let's see what's going on, man. Take me to the bridge, man. DDG
was granted a restraining order yesterday after allegedly claiming that DDG put hands on her. If you're not caught up on that story, that link is popping up as well as down below. But moving forward, DDG and his family is going to have to be quiet because Halle did mention the family in the police report. Remember, she said in the police report that after the incident, she got in the car with DDG and drove back to his family house and told them what happened. So now the courts are probably going to want to hear their side to the story and what she told them. So we're not going to be hearing from DDG or the family because a lot of what they're going to say is going to affect DDG moving forward. A lot of people think this restraining order is just for Halle. No, it's for Halle and Halo. This situation happened in the presence of a child. So the restraining order that was granted is not just for Halle, it's for Halo as well. And that's why the judge granted her permission to go to Italy for 2 months to go work and take Halo with her because she has temporary custody of the child until they go back to court. When they go back to court, not only is DDG fighting for his life, he's fighting to be around his son because if that restraining order get extended, y'all was mad before that he can't see his son. If that restraining order get extended, he's going to have a lot of people telling him what to do. He won't
problems this and run into problems like this when you let the woman name your child a dumbass name like that.
What's the name?
Halo. The dumbest shit I ever heard.
I hate when they get like that.
And that's when you know what type of woman you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like you really finna sit here, we finna go back and forth, and you finna call our son Halo.
You think he?
No, hell no, I don't think his name don't even start with an H. You feel me? Yeah, Halo. You can just see it on her mind. It was like, oh, you really gonna try to take him away from me one day? I don't know. I could be over exaggerating, but I'm just saying.
Son, if it was a daughter, Halo, maybe. Yeah. But the son, you're not finna name my son Halo. Ain't nothing sweet about this earth for him to be running around named Halo. They trying to, the celebrity baby name trend. That's what she sounded like. She was trying to keep up with the Northwest, the Blue Ivies, just the names that don't make sense in the real world.
Who is she?
She was the Black Little Mermaid. I learned that today.
A Black Little Mermaid on what?
They remade a Little Mermaid movie some years back.
Oh, was it like a live or was it a cartoon?
Motion picture. It was a real motion picture, a big one, and it was the Black Little Mermaid. That's where she came from.
And then she got 45 bands for that.
I think it was. I'm gonna look it up. But
I'll say 17. She got 17 for that.
I think she was the breadwinner at first.
Let's look it up.
What's her name? Halle Bailey. Yeah, I always think about Halle Berry every time I see that. Her net worth is $3 million. So she had a music career. Excuse me. Then acting. Okay, she was on Grownish, Little Mermaid, where she got $1.5 million for that role. So, and then she got a couple extra ones. Social media endorsements. So she's a social influencer / actor / singer. So she's somebody in the world.
She's somebody.
Not to the she ain't Beyonce, but stream. It makes sense. Upcoming actor. DDG is a full-time streamer, rapper, possibly getting in movie roles.
What movie roles?
I said possibly sometime in the future. I don't know, not right now. But
he gonna have to because he sold 500 copies his first week.
Oh yeah, the rap part. No, the Pink Dress was actually a decent song. I kind of liked it. Shout out DDG.
That was Pink Dress, and that was him and Playboy Max.
Yeah. When I'm on town, I be tripping, I be on one. It was a bang. I like it. I like it. I listen to that type of music. You know what I'm saying?
His best shit to me is still moonwalking in Calabasas.
I still
with fucking Blueface.
a Blueface. Oh, it's a banger.
That's a banger.
Wait, is it new or is old?
No, it's the old one.
Oh no, they got a new one that's a banger. When they going back and forth, yeah, he got a couple songs. I ain't gonna say he got hits. He got a couple songs. I gotta slap that though. I gotta listen to it. And
you ain't never heard of Moonwalking Calabasas?
I probably have. I probably just gotta listen to it.
Don't call that little shit if it ain't. Don't call the state if it ain't come with a pool in the gate.
I gotta hear it.
You ain't heard them? Are you serious?
I ain't never.
Oh my God, no! Excuse us, guys. Just excuse us, Chad. He's heard it before. He's been had a long day at work.
Yeah, I have been a long day at work. Let's call it like that.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? But well, I'm finna say, yeah, let's like the meat and potatoes of the situation. DDG and Haley had a online relationship, real relationship. She shortly thereafter got pregnant, had the baby. They couldn't come to agreements. They split. They were never married or nothing like that. But she started tripping on him, I think. And, it's a part of his career to be out there, dealing with different women, doing different things. I seen he did that segment with Cooking with Kaya, right? I don't know if they were still together at that point, but who knows if stuff like that put strain on their relationship. And it went from that to like, okay, they break up. Boom, they break up. DDG saying he can't see the baby. She's saying you never can see the baby. Boom. Obviously, everybody takes up for him. He's actually been, on live. They actually had like a family channel. So he's participated. Not to say when the camera's cut off, people can't turn into wholly different people. But DDG seemed like a nice little square dude, bro. I don't see him
definitely
like
a square dude.
I think he's a funny dude. He like,
I think he got a little bit of player in him too.
Yeah, he definitely got a little bit of player with him. The beating allegations, I don't see him just overly whooping her. I know men and women can get in tense situations, and at times it can get a little rough, and maybe, who knows, women hit men too. Who knows? Maybe she boop bop, beep bop bop. But as far as him coming, breaking in houses and trying to beat her up, like I don't see him on Diddy time at all. He broke down today on the stream.
He cried?
He cried on the stream today. He was giving away a gift card. The camera went up. He cut the stream off, man. He broke down. So prayers out to DDG, because no matter what's going on, I know it's still rough. It's not easy not being able to see your infant child.
She made it to where he can't even stream with his son no more.
Yeah, see, when it's that diabolical, you can tell it's diabolical.
Blueface, and that's what I'm saying. Blueface tried to tell him. I mean, once the baby's already had, it's already done, But he just trying to give him a heads up, like, yeah, man, I know you think what I'm going through just some Wizard of Oz type thing, and it's only happening to me, and that's not how women are. Mm-hmm. No, bro, like, you feel me? Like, come on now. She got an ego too. You feel me? She has
a big one.
She has a big one. She's gorgeous.
Movies.
Haley. It's okay. Go with him, Haley.
She's not ugly, but I'm not attracted to that woman. I ain't gonna lie.
Let me see her face.
It's an eye thing, man. I know I'm not the most fucking handsome guy in the world, but
it don't matter. It don't matter what a dude look like. You already know. You know how God sets us up. Yeah. All we gotta do is keep getting money, and I can lose. I don't want to say this for myself. All right, as a dude, all you gotta do is keep losing money. The older you get, you can lose all your hair, have no teeth. As long as you got that bag, you're good. Women, from what age 18 to you have some fine bottles of wine out there that can go until they 60s, but that mostly like that prime era. Mm-hmm. You feel me? That's from 18 to in there like 38.
So now she's dolled
up.
Them
eyes hella fall apart.
And she's dolled up, and she's a beautiful woman. I'm not saying she's not, but just me particularly, I just be like,
she got locks. That's probably why I like her, because she got locks.
Yeah, if she got the locks, cool. But
she look like a little mermaid.
Yeah, that's probably why they got her.
Marmalade.
But I don't know. Just
that one right there, kind of alien.
When you be give me the alien.
It's perfect. She got perfect ass teeth. Her teeth.
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman. I'm not taking nothing away from her beauty. She is. DDG is great to have, just not my type particularly. You know what I'm saying? But she definitely had that bag, and I know Young Blood probably thought she got the bag. There's no way I can lose, right? It's not like I'm having a baby with a street monger down the street, and she just after my sack. She got more money than me at the current moment in time. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way I can lose. That's probably why when he's talking to Blueface, he's probably like, "Oh, man, you tripping." But When you actually have a child and you love your child, then you see they're going to use whatever they can use against you. If it was the money, that's what they'll use against you. Since she has probably more money than you, or y'all equally yoked, she can't use that against you. So what she's going to use against you? Your child. And you never put that like, there's no way this woman to take my baby and just leave and not let me see it. But that's what women do. And that's what Blueface was trying to tell you. But, you know, he was a little bit.
I don't know. I'm just going to say it. People going to hate it. Some people ain't going to understand. There has to be some type of like a fear factor. It has to be some type of, it goes from parent to child. You know, you can be lottie-dottie with your parent. I mean lottie-dottie with your child and all like that. But in order for them to respect you as a parent, as a provider, there has to be some type of fear factor up in there. Same thing with God. You know, God. You know, you got to do what Thy will. You know, it's right, it's wrong, it's a sin, it's a blessing. You have choices out here. But when you have that faith, you also have to have, it's a certain type of fear of what God can do for you and what he won't do for you and what he will take away from you and remove out of your life, you know, or just completely, you won't have breath in the morning. So it has to be that fear factor. And I'm not talking about like fear of like, I'll punch you in your face, you know. I'm talking about that fear of, you know, I'm just not that one to play with. I'm not that one to play with. And
are you saying the man-woman aspect?
The man-woman aspect. Okay. It should go both ways. Yeah. Man, woman, woman, man. I think a healthy relationship, there's a type of fear aspect there, you know?
There's a fear. There should be a fear of each other. There should be a fear of, women should have a level of respect / fear for you. Like, I'm just not gonna play. I'm just not gonna play with this man. Like, he ain't one of them.
I know he don't care about my brother. I know he'll pull up over here.
I know if I take it to, and they need that. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm just saying. It's a healthy balance.
Not saying need it to like, oh, he gonna kill me, or if I do something, but they need to know you're not a punk. They need to know you're not a pushover. That's what the fear part. If they feel like they can do whatever to you, they will do whatever to you when they get in their feelings. They're gonna play with you at first. They're gonna be like,
every girl I've ever been overly nice to no longer exists in my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you
I'm overly nice, trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Now and it's disgusting because now if I'm just half-assing.
The worse you are, the longer they stay around.
The longer they stay around. Why is it like that, man?
I don't know.
Why is it like that?
The balance is fine.
Why is it like that?
If you can find somewhere where it's like
a balance.
It's a balance there. Then it's good.
But that's the balance I'm talking about, though. Because if I don't have no fear of losing her, I'm just gonna be still foot hop.
You can't.
You feel me? Same draws 4 to 5, 10 days in a row.
Yeah.
You mean she let it stay.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But it
is something wrong with having 10
days straight. But now for a girl to love your funk a little bit, ain't nothing wrong.
No, she would want to love the funk.
Yeah, but it gotta be like you gotta be scared of what she brings to you, and she gotta be scared of what you gotta be scared of losing what she brings to you, and she gotta be scared of the same thing, like losing you and what you bring to the table. If that's not there, that's not there. That's why
you always had a dude that mess with the crazy girl, because you scared of losing that P-funk, and just that spontaneous bite you on your neck, and scratch your face.
And the thing is, even though people don't like you doing this, and sometimes I even preach this, it's hard to deal with a woman that's like, even if at the time above you at that time, I'm gonna call it what it is. Not saying don't do it, and if you know how to play the game right, and you know how to stand on your own 10. But when a woman got like a lot of access and a lot of tools at her disposal, and you're not playing your cards like 100, the more that she has at your disposal, the more that she has over you, the more you gotta play your cards right, because that's the more she's gonna be able to do what she's doing now, right? You thought there was no way she can really affect you, but she's affecting you by not. What you said, you can't see your son when you want to. She's saying you only want to see your son when you feel like it. You got a career, she got a career. Now, since she can't fully control you, she's taking it all the way from you and trying to slander your name in order to take your kid from you, which is a dirty, dangerous game. Now, if you sitting there chasing her down, beating on her, yeah, I can see that, and doing it in front of the kids. But I be knowing how this stuff really goes.
Right, he ain't doing that, bro. It's the same guy that hop on stream with pimple cream on his face, bro. You're not putting on pimple cream and also run through somebody's door and choking them. You're just not doing it.
It's just I don't get them vibes. Diddy, I always say we can know Diddy was being Diddy before all this. DDG, I don't get nothing of that from that man.
I'm gonna say this. And when y'all get a chance, chat, right? Go listen to Last Night by Keisha Cole and P. Diddy. And listen to the end of the song with P. Diddy on the phone and how he talking. I'll come over there and blame, shut up. I'll kill your ass right now, bitch. So
I don't think DDG get down like that.
He's not getting down like that. I'm saying Diddy get down like that.
I know, yeah. You know, it's always a little friendly threatening sometimes, but
DDG don't want. He ain't trying to break no nail.
Even him messing with Halle Berry, you can tell that's like a not ass type of girl.
But Halle
Bailey, but she you can tell you gotta watch them nice little girls too though. Don't be thinking like, oh, she's so sweet. Them be the devils in disguise. The ones that come off so sweet and innocent. Them the ones that get real conniving because they know their image is. That's why she was able to run to that judge and get that restraining order so fast to go take your child out there for 2 months.
Do you even have to put your hands on a woman now for you to get it?
Just like with the rape,
or just they just got to just say
if they say it,
it's gonna be taken serious.
It can be taken serious. And you know how women is. There's gonna be that time where she texts you something hella crazy, and you text back like, "You got me fucked," just something crazy. Or that time where, y'all could have been playing wrestling and bumped into her and she had a little bruise and took a picture. Women get real diabolical. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure it has to be some type of evidence, but all it takes is you coming knocking on the door aggressively at nighttime and them being like, I am not comfortable right now. Can you please leave my house? And you're like, what are you talking about? I was just here last night. Right. Why are you acting like what the fuck is wrong? And it's going to throw you off. Whole time she's setting up the play like, you see, I was telling him to leave. I fell from my life. That's what I'm saying. When you
So how do you feel about this? I'm pretty sure, those out there, y'all trust y'all girl and all that. But I'm just gonna put it out there. What's the ratio of women, that like to be choked and not to be choked when you banging, right?
You bang, yeah.
It's
they gonna do whatever you want them to do at the time.
No, I'm saying they gonna say choke me, right?
Yeah,
So like you just said, the smart girls, you choke her and then what?
It's a mark on her neck.
And now what?
Take a picture of it.
And then what?
All right, show it to the judge.
Yo, you feel me?
I'm just saying.
So, you feel me? It get crazy. It's just the air we live in.
Levels. And then when you got somebody who's smart, you gotta watch the book smart girls because they know these type of things. Some girls will be more like, you come from it, so they ain't as like, but they be sharp too. They just sharp in like getting you sent to jail.
You don't have to be too sharp nowadays. Like I keep saying, the way the Europeans set this up, it all came from over there on England, where them letting their queens have power. They transferred all that over here, and that's why you can get sent to jail at the snap of a finger. That's why you can be the breadwinner and take somebody in and help them out, and you feel me, and snap a finger, lose everything that you can save for, and for her to go suck another meat.
I don't watch women not go to work for 2 months, get paid, break leases in the middle of a lease, no penalty, no mark on their credit.
Yes.
Sue the job they working at, still work there, even though it's lost to protect. But it's lost to protect you against all that. Yeah. It's just men, we don't. If I don't go to work for a week, I'm fired in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even no negotiation, no whatever, unless it's like something that's set in stone. You know what I'm saying? Even bereavement, which is when somebody died in your family, that shit is only 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to mix that in with like taking time off.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to. Yeah.
Right. So you might get the week out of it. You know what I'm saying? The things that I've seen women do over the years and just get away with, it's just like they got a lot more leeway than we have. Maybe we do have this leeway, but men don't even tap into it. We don't even think about that type of stuff.
You gotta turn it into Albert Einstein to find that leeway.
Yeah.
And then you gotta put your real life on pause to even go after it.
Yeah.
You feel me? But like I said,
they already got a Bible written out from woman to woman that they be like, this is how you do this. This is how you get them in trouble. This is how, you know what I'm saying? It's already there.
I blame it on the Europeans. I blame it on the Europeans. All that Queen Elizabeth and all that stuff. You see, the Queen was just ruling before. Did she just pass away? The Queen.
The Pope passed away. Did the Queen pass away?
The Pope passed away just recently. The Queen passed away like sometimes at the beginning of this year.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and she was ruling.
Yeah.
You know.
She's been the Queen, yeah.
Yeah.
She rules this country. Keep it real. If you want to get into all that, the Vatican and all that.
And that's what I'm saying.
They rule this country.
In Africa, I don't think it was like that. Yeah, we had queens and all like that, but it wouldn't know. You starting wars. You doing this and that. No, over here, that's why it is the way it is in America.
It's counterproductive to the Bible if you believe in Christianity.
Yeah.
It's counterproductive to our African cultures. You know what I'm saying? I do remember a story of one African queen that was just like a crazy when she was having husbands, killing the husbands.
I remember
one instance of that.
She was a warrior.
And
she
Cleopatra maybe, but
it wouldn't fault.
When it comes to our heritage, when it comes to our religions, if you really pay attention to that,
when it comes to anybody's besides the Europeans,
Muslim, and exactly.
Yeah,
and that Europeans even have the same religion, still like don't follow it in that manner. But I don't want to get into that's all people's religious things. But yeah, it gets counterproductive, and United States is bad, and California is like the top of the woman. You know, just the woman stranglehold, man. You do California is crazy based on out there in Indiana. My cousin out there in Indiana, right? He got like 12 kids, bro. The max they can put them on child support for each kid, I think it's like $50, bro. And I think it max out at like $200. No matter how many kids you have, you feel me? Like it's something crazy like that. Don't directly quote me because I know y'all like to chop it apart in the comments.
If somebody chop him apart in the comments, because I don't want him dropping false knowledge on here. You feel me?
But it's something to that nature. There's a cap on it. You feel me? There's no cap in California. That's why when Anthony Edwards had this situation with Aisha Howard, she tried to get the California ID, and he was like, "Well, no. Keep this in Georgia," because that $1 million that he gave her, that would have been half of his salary out here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We could agree that it's a little bit different from California than it is in other states. But yeah, it's cut out for the woman, and DDG is definitely seeing that because it should be wrong to be able to take somebody's baby out the country for. If she didn't say that the baby was right there when they got into the argument, she wouldn't even be able to take that baby out the country for 2 months straight. That's illegal. You feel me? Unless you got
it always set up. She all knew she was going. You feel me? It's a dirty game, man. It's kind of making me upset, man. You want to go to the bridge?
Yeah, let's take it to the bridge, man. We've been here. We're gonna touch back on this, man, because we've been going, man. But this is about the boy Tory Lanez. You probably already seen this on our Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but we want to tackle this real quick.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly.
So that was about the young man, Tory Lanez, who was just viciously stabbed 14 times in the CDC, California Department of Corrections. The new development in the case, the new evidence is that Kelsey's bodyguard has came forward and stated he overheard her talking to her boyfriend on the phone. When she was talking to her boyfriend on the phone, she was explaining the night in question, basically. She told him that I was shooting the gun. Tory Lanez pushed my arm down. I shot 3 times. Tory Lanez pushed my arm down. The gun fired 2 more times. Tory Lanez never had the gun, never shot the gun. Took it from her afterwards, did whatever, but I don't even know if he took it from her. That's me ad-libbing. He never fired the gun. He never shot the gun. His DNA, and then there was also more people inputting that his DNA was never even on the gun. They had 2 tests. One test, this is like 100 words. They had one test that was inconclusive. They can't say it was a one, and there was one that proved it completely false. So this is the new evidence being brought forward. You can, if you want, you can count it as hearsay because this is somebody saying that they overheard somebody else talking to somebody else and telling the story. But as the man stated, this aligns with the only other non-party witness. That's what they said. That's what this man is saying. What do you take from that?
It don't matter. Tory Lanez's ass is cooked. He done, baby. and it's messed up. It all go back to the Europeans, and the way how they rule and dictate, certain shit. He cooked, baby. The gavel already been smashed. You feel me? He done. His ass is cooked in the court of law.
I got 10. He coming home.
He going to Canada. He gonna be a Canadian goose. He ain't coming back here. Don't forget he getting deported.
Oh yes.
Yeah. No. Yeah, my Charles White. No, his ass cooked though, and it's sad to see. But he was cooked from the day that he opened his mouth when Meg wouldn't stand that, and now we all see why she wouldn't say that about Tory, and now we see why he was so chest out to speak on the situation and make an album about it and just kind of like poking at her. You feel me? And then it's like, you know what? We got enough money on this side to blame this shit on you, and that's exactly what happened. That was already the memo anyway. Yeah, his ass is cooked, man. Unfortunately, man. Before his legal team, I forget the name of them, but shout out to them for doing their due diligence and coming out with this information. But this information wasn't even supposed to come out that fast. Now we already knew that. Tory been saying that his fingerprints wasn't on the gun, so we would just word of mouth. You feel what I'm saying? And that they only, because Tory talked about this, that they only, residue tested him. And they didn't do no fire trajectory. Did it come from the front seat? Did it come from the back seat? Did it come from the side of the passenger? They didn't do none of that. They didn't even get out and mark the shell casings and the scattered the bullet fragments that was in her foot. Those is gone, and also the serial file on the gun has been sealed. I didn't, I thought that was, after a case was done, that shit was sealed before the case was done. That way, Tory's the team can use it in court, or even see who the gun was registered to in the first place. So, the reason why I say he's cooked, he was cooked from the start. You feel me? The DA was already known to not give people gun enhancements. I'm talking about 2-time, 3-time felons. I'm talking about killers, murderers. He would never seek gun enhancements. Tory comes along, first-time offender, gun enhancement, and he gets the stick. And that's why Tory Lanez is doing 10 instead of 1 and 3. It's been a reel floating around that even Tory's own lawyer, who just had this show called Reasonable Doubt, is tied to Jay-Z some way, somehow. I know y'all gonna come and clarify this for me in the comments. Sure. Please do. And also his lawyer, who also had the show called Reasonable Doubt, her daughter was a backup dancer for Beyonce. So it's all type of this weird shit that was just going on during this case. The worst thing Tory could have did was not take the stand and tell the truth of what happened. I know he's this gangster R&B rapper or singer.
They do that a lot though. They be telling people don't take the stand.
Yeah, but if you innocent and you not no thug and you a civilian, I need to be heard, right?
Yeah.
If I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah.
Okay, have my wife, but I'm fighting for my life though.
I would have told.
I would have told, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all can call me what y'all want.
I would have told.
If I'm a millionaire and that bitch shot, this is not no gangster shit. This is not we going outside, we trying to go get on something, we finna rob a store. This is a drunk bitch shot another drunk bitch, and somehow I'm getting blamed for it. That drunk bitch is going to jail. I ain't gonna lie. Call me what you want. Call it what you want.
Y'all both fighting over my meat, and now I'm finna go to jail.
Now I'm finna go to jail for life, and
now I gotta watch my back. I'm known as the nigga shooting the bitch in the foot.
I'm not holding nothing down by that. I'm not holding down the gang. I'm not holding down. All I'm doing is taking myself away from my family, my friends, and my fortune because you two drunk bitches couldn't stop fucking fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they would slap. She should have. First off, she should have fessed up. If this is what happened, what everybody's saying what happened in this is what happened, she should have fessed up off the dribble. One thing was weird is when he called, it's like, I'm so sorry about what happened to y'all. Like, did you hear that phone conversation?
Man,
what was that about? That's the only thing
I don't know. I know some weird, like locations asked and all that shit. Let's not forget Kelsey, before she even spoke, asked for immunity.
Yeah. What do you need immunity for if you didn't do that?
And she pled the fifth in court. I'm not sitting down for no fucking meat mongers. I'm not sitting down for no dick dumpsters. I'm not, man. I'm not. And all y'all out there that want to send my partner Lane because said he would tell, that's between him and the streets, right? Mm-hmm. But all y'all that wouldn't, y'all see what happened to Tory, right? So back to what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. When
I'm
it's,
not even saying I really would tell, but it'd be like whatever. Yeah, it's like whatever.
I'd tell him Megan Stallion hella fast. Fuck that bitch. Straight up, just like that.
On my mama, nigga.
Yeah, on my mom. Yeah, on Seater's son.
Nigga.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, that fucking whore. But yeah. So, bruh, she was.
Call it what you want.
Bruh, did she do like a 40-yard dash a month later? At the Dallas Stadium? She, twerking and doing the uptown, downtown. Like, get up out of here with all that, but get up out of here, man.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and so back to his team. Team, did they do diligence? They got this information. They reached out to Kelsey and her team, Meg and Pete, her team, and I think it was one, and then I think they reached out to somebody else.
I was lying about the sex thing. What was?
I forget. But what'd you say?
She was lying. Yeah, I told you I never had sex with Corey to Gayle King, and she lied about that.
Oh yeah, she lied about that.
She lied about all that.
Yeah, she lied about all that.
That's fucked up, man. I'm sorry. Like to railroad somebody like that, that's fucked up. I'm sorry. I mean,
so she damn. So yeah, so he reached out to their teams. Mm-hmm. Kelsey's team never reached back, but Meg's team definitely, reached back because they had questions that need to be answered. And then 4 days later, Tory was stabbed in prison.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And that's why we got this information faster than what they wanted to, come out and bring it out with. Because Tory ended up getting viciously stabbed.
Almost murdered. So
both his lungs collapsed and everything.
I'm glad you said that. What were the stories that we heard, right? One, he was kingpin, Don Dada, shotta, you know what I'm saying? And the Mexican car, I want to get him out the way. That was the first one. The second one that stuck more was the Norte from up here basically said that the dude who stabbed him, because they did confirm that man stabbed him. That was the person who stabbed him from what we know thus far. And they was visiting Tory Lanez, seen his wife. They had a little chit chat or whatever. She probably got fanned out or she talked to him or whatever, allegedly. And when he got back to, she told the husband. And when they got back to the cell, they supposed to be neighboring cells. And she told him, and he said, "Hey man, your wife like black dick. I'll fuck your wife. XYZ, XYZ, XYZ." Little 5'1" Tory said this to big Mexican tatted up vato man. He gonna tell this man all that. Unless Tory was kingpin in the yard, unless both of those stories are true, it's hard to believe that this little leprechaun is gonna sit up here disrespecting this man in this California penitentiary. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. That one I believe less than him actually running the yard and getting got on by the Mexican cartel. Because what makes him feel like he can just get out there and get to talking crazy to somebody? And everybody know, like in jail, you don't play with a man's food, his wife, his family. You know what I'm saying? You don't play with these little things that people have in jail that they hold near and dear to their heart. Because that's all they got. So what makes you think Tory will get up in there and talk crazy? Do you believe that story?
I don't know. It's some, it could be some truth to it. I mean, it is Tory's first time. Tory is up in there with money. Tory feeling like he is helping everybody, so people gonna have his back. And it could have been, it could have happened like that, and that possibly just not been the truth. I don't think we're gonna really know what happened until Tory come out and say what happened, or until my boy Whack 100 and the exposures get the real information. But I just don't know. I just don't know, because one thing we know for sure, Tory was helping people out up in there. You feel me?
That's a fact.
That's a fact. And my whole thing with him just like helping people out, or or even running a car, or just being boss hog, top dog on the yard. Nobody else got stabbed in the ordeal. I mean, maybe I couldn't have stopped him from getting stabbed, but nobody else, had the banger on him and came up in there and you feel me, or woody whoop, or like police don't get there that fast. And 14 stabs, it's like, come on now, like.
I mean, when somebody get busy, they getting busy.
They're getting busy though. But all our cells are right next to each other though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know. I really don't have the slightest idea. And then this come out, because when you're a billionaire, them hands reach far. And people get down and dirty for that dollar. So did Meg's people have something to do with this? to try to hush him up to keep this from coming out. Either way, at the end of the day, Tory ain't getting out of jail, and it's messed up. He got out to get some sun, get some Capri Suns, some vitamin C at the hospital, but he's not getting out. You feel me? Do I think he should get out? Yes, I do think he should get out.
You don't think this is gonna help at all?
I don't think he's gonna help at all.
Nothing.
I don't think it's gonna help at all, bro. So, what gun are they gonna use to go back and do another DNA test when they never did a DNA test on anybody else besides him in the first place? What bullet fragments are they going to go get?
Footage they gonna find?
What footage? What body cam? There was none. What trajectory? Bullet trajectory did they do in the car, or to see where the gun was fired from? They did none of this.
It's hearsay. That's why I said that. It's hearsay.
Do you think he's gonna get out?
I know hearsay don't really move shit in court. I ain't gonna lie. You said their defense.
Do you think that he's gonna get out of jail?
I don't think it's gonna help that well. I don't think it's gonna help. I hope it does. Honestly, if it's the truth, I hope the truth shall set Chief free. But I just know how this court system works. I mean, there's a little bit more money involved, sure, but it's like you're saying the bodyguard said that he finally came out and said that she said that he was while she was talking to somebody else, and I overheard her say it's too easy to shoot down in court. Like, come on now, what else y'all got? Is this on tape? Y'all got a recording? Do y'all got he can say anything he want to say? I don't see it working. I don't see it working that well.
Even if all that shit did turn out to be true, you feel me? It's no way to go and 100 proof it.
Kelsey would have to come forward and say, "Yeah, I shot her."
Pretty much.
It was me. I'm sorry, I lied. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what? Maybe a retrial with no evidence? How that's gonna go?
Sealed. They gotta get back into that, right? The cereal never being sealed and taken out, like that got to be reintroduced in this case.
I ain't gonna lie, don't seal dinner mean destroyed?
No, it means sealed. I don't think nothing ever destroyed. Because remember when the JFK assassination was sealed and they unsealed it.
Yeah, but that's that though.
Yeah.
I know when I caught my gun case and after I took my plea, my gun was destroyed.
Oh, really?
The first gun.
I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did with that shit.
Yeah.
But
I'm just saying it was sealed to the point to where he couldn't. They didn't use it to get no type of registration from it. Who's the owner or anything.
I don't know. I don't even know it's gonna get that far. I don't even know if it's gonna get back in court. I know.
I think he's gonna be out, and they were saying hopefully.
He's not gonna get out after healing. That's not gonna happen.
They were saying hopefully that it doesn't have to go this far, but if it does, they're gonna go to the governor, Gavin Newsom.
What do you call that? Commuter system or pardon them or some shit like that?
Yeah, get pardoned.
But who is Tory Lanez though? Like I'm saying, we know, but who is it to be like?
I don't know. It's just a heinous crime. I mean, to everybody else, he's just a black rapper, and all like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I hope Tory gets some type of love. I never believed Meg Thee Stallion, no way. I'm a dude. We're dudes. Once I heard sex was involved and alcohol, it's like, yeah, okay. That
should be a part of the law. Like, if y'all fucking and drinking or doing drugs together, like, whatever comes, as long as nobody dies, whatever comes from this, we don't care. Because if I was a judge, I'd be sitting there like, I don't care.
Man, it'd be a lot of dick dumpsters sending niggas up to the up the river nowadays, bro.
That shit.
And I think it's always been like that. A woman with morals, characteristics. I don't give a fuck if she get a little dirty every now and then, or if she get a little ratchet. But just with like a heart and you was raised right, you ain't getting down like that. Anybody, you just not getting down like that. You just not getting down like that. I know you got an image to uphold, but now look at your image now. Even if Tory don't get out, you still gonna make money and all that shit. But what just came out was a lot of shit that we was already thinking. That you and your partner got into it over who finna give Tory the next fellatio. You feel me? Pretty much. And then what type of friend are you to be banging your friends supposedly dude? It just like, hey man,
It reeks of low moral values.
Yeah, exactly.
It just reeks of that. It reeks like, okay, if you lie about this, you'll lie about that. And I mean, after somebody ain't getting shot, two different things, but still, it's like, you ain't really got no, you just out here drunk. And then before that, you went from brother, and you ended up with Tory Lanez. He should have stayed away from that little That was his first mistake. I remember it happening live. Him doing this little get Instagram live popping. Had the most lit it ever been. Next thing you know, here comes Meg Thee Stallion. Next thing you know, Tory doing 10 years. And that's how it really happens in real life, kids. Don't think these streets is the only thing that can take you out. Because a scorned woman would damn near take you out faster than the street.
Oh, that's been going on since 1999.
BC.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, man. But that's what we got for today, man. Big 6.
Big hop. Bigger business.
Bigger business. Yay! Oh, wait. Denver Nuggets won. Series tied 3-3.
I told you.
Are you saying they're going to win Game 7? And
Of
OKC?
course. Of course.
Are they going to win Game 7 in the OKC chat? Let us know. We going to find out. Next Bigger Business, let us know. Who going to win? Drop it in the chat now so y'all can't say.
What's that nigga name? Childress? Shy? Whatever?
Shy, Gildress, Alexander.
Yeah, ain't no nigga with 3 first names winning. Nothing. Yeah.
We going